This time on Lash and Lace. Hi guys, it's Rachel from Lash and Lace, and today I'm going to show you guys a prom makeup look for all you that are going to prom with makeup that is affordable, mostly drugstore. If it's not drugstore, I'm pretty sure you can get it at Ulta. All this stuff is pretty inexpensive or has stuff close to it, I think, that you might have. So, the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to prime my eye with the Color Tattoo 24-hour, what is this? 24-hour Toughest Taupe eyeshadow. This is actually a really great primer from the drugstore. And yes, it does have color, but, and this is just a brown color, which is mostly what the eye I'm doing today. It's going to be a brown, smoky eye kind of look. But they have several colors. I know they just came out with, I think like a month ago they came out with it, like a shimmery color that's just kind of more neutral, or some more neutral colors. So you could pick up that shade and it would work just as well. Or Bad to the Bronze, which would also be a really great color to choose to work underneath the eye. But I have Toughest Taupe and I really like it. So I am just going to swatch. I'm just going to use little, where is my makeup? Here we go, sorry. I'm just going to use my little close-up makeup mirror, sorry guys, so I can see everything I'm doing and I don't swipe this all over my face. So I'm just blending it all over my eye. And make sure not to work this all the way up to your eyebrow because you don't want your eyebrow to be dark up there. You want it to be light. So I'm just going to put this on both eyes. Also, just to mention, I already do have my foundation on. Generally, I do my foundation after I do my eyes, but I didn't want to scare you guys, so I did start with my foundation already on. And if you'd like to see my foundation routine, click below and I'll put a link below to my video of my foundation routine. Okay, so that is with the Toughest Taupe on my eyes. It just gives it kind of a brown shade. It's completely matte, although the look I'm doing is shimmery. So next I'm using my favorite knockoff of the Urban Decay Naked palette, which I'm not using because if you're in high school you might not be able to afford this. Honestly, it was a big purchase for me to have to do it, but I love it. It's worth it. You could do this look with the Naked palette or with my knockoff version, but I love my knockoff version. It's the first one I had and I still love it, so and still use it. It's the NYX 10 color eyeshadow palette in Caviar and Bubbles, which I love that name. It's so cute. So here's what it looks like. As you can see, I've hit pan on the, whoa, hello, the brown color here. And it just has neutral shimmery colors. I think the only matte colors in here are actually there's more than I thought. Okay, so the white is matte, the brown is matte, which is actually very nice. You can use that as an eyebrow filler, which is what I do and I will show you today. The black is matte and it's very pigmented. I love it. And then these two colors down here are matte as well, but these two over here are my favorite shimmery colors, and those are the ones that I'll mostly be using today. I'll be using, I forget, they don't actually list off the names for each of these, so here I'll show it so you guys can see a little bit better. Sorry. So mostly I will be using, come on Rachel, get your hand, okay. Mostly I will be using these two colors right here and the black color, and I will also be using a little bit maybe of the pink and the brown. So let me start off the look. So the first color I'm going to use is this color right here, which is the paler shimmery color. Let me do a swatch view for you right here. It's just a nice cream shimmery neutral color. So I'm just going to be using, this is really old, it actually doesn't even have the name on it. Actually, there, I found it. It is a e.l.f. Studio eye brush, just an eyeshadow brush, shader brush, I think. It's $1 at your local drugstore, which is awesome, and I actually think it's my favorite eyeshadow brush. I use this in almost all of my tutorials or when I'm doing my makeup. So I'm just going to use that color, that shimmery color, and just put that all over my eye. This is really the base color for all the look, but I just wanted to put the color tattoo because if you're going to prom, hopefully you're dancing a lot and your makeup needs to stay on. So just taking it all the way up to the crease of my eye. Nothing special. So next I'm actually going to use the exact same brush. I know I'm guilty of double dipping my brushes into different colors. I'm going to dip that into the darker bronze color. So I'm just going to take this color and take it and put it on the outer, probably half of my eye, and blend it into the color I've already used. Now the color difference between these isn't super great, so it makes it a nice gradual shading of the eye, which I like. So the one thing I would say that's unfortunate about this eye palette versus the Naked palette is you don't get as much color payoff. And there is a little bit more of a fallout when you're doing your makeup, not necessarily after. So just make sure you either do your foundation afterwards or you brush it away before you walk out because you don't look all freckledy. So the next thing I'm going to use is my Eco Tools. It's a blending brush, and I'm just going to take that and put that into the matte brown color. Hello, I can't move today. So the matte brown color. And I'm not going to make it super heavy, so I'm going to tap it off after I swirl it. And then I'm just going to take this and start in the outer, probably third of my eye, and just slowly work it and a little bit up. The one thing I would definitely say is be careful when you start adding the dark colors because you can't go back, you can always add more. So, and then I'm going to also take this, and this is going to be my crease color, and I'm just going to use it to define my eye, and I just kind of, you know, slowly build it up. Sorry, I need to blend a little bit out there. So then I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. And the key here is to make sure your eyes look even when you're done, obviously. So I'm just going to use my finger really fast just to blend that color on the top because you don't want a super hard line. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm taking this little brush that I actually got in my Glam, which is now Ipsy, bag, and it's just a small little shading brush. I think e.l.f. makes one very similar to this that's like $1 or $1.50 or something. So it's just the one I have. So yeah, and I'm going to take this and dip this actually into, yes, the black, sorry. And I'm going to tap it off again because I don't want to add too much at one time. Now I just work this into, I don't go above the crease line with the black really, just right into the outer edge. And sometimes I drag it a little bit on to the lower part of the lash line. Not really making a defined line, but just to add some depth to where my eyelashes will hopefully stick up soon from. And then you can also work a little bit into the outer section of your crease. And then just blend. See, I have a big black dot on my face now. Color fallout. Okay. So, there's that. And then I'm going to do that to the other eye. I think this look would also look really good with like most of the dresses most girls are wearing, especially if you have brown eyes, even blue eyes. It's just a neutral shade, so if you don't know what to do with your makeup, I would say this is a pretty good bet. Most things look good with a neutral eye, as long as you don't do a crazy dark eye and a crazy dark lip, because I think that's a little bit. But to each his own. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, the name's rubbed off on this again, but this is the e.l.f. Liquid eyeliner. It's just a very thin liquid eyeliner. I think it's like $1 at your drugstore. Also, if you want, I'm not sure if this company is mostly available in drugstores. I do know it's available in Ulta, and it's only like, I think, $5, and it's my favorite liquid eyeliner. It's the Prestige Cosmetics liquid eyeliner in black. Both these are black, by the way. This one is a felt tip instead of a brush, and gives you a little bit more control and a little bit of a thicker line. So yeah, I'd recommend this if you're also starting out. I think this is a little bit more control compared to this one, but this one makes a thinner line. So I'm going to use this one though, because everyone can get e.l.f. makeup, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not going to line all the way into the inner section of my eye, because I will highlight that later. And it's much more flattering, actually. It's supposed to make your eyes look bigger if you only do 2/3 of your eye, both for underneath and for up top. Actually, I only like to do about 1/3 on the bottom. But if you go all the way in, it actually can shrink your eye, which most people, I would say, don't want. Most people want to make your big eye, like make your eyes big. So as I make a crazy face, I'm just going to line them with a little wing on the end. And I generally start in the middle and then work my way out and work my way to the edge of both sides that I'm going to do. And I don't want to do a super thick line, because that's not really what this look is. It's not a big winged eye. Just make sure that, just want to make sure that my eyelashes don't look sparse. Just want to make them look thicker. And then my general rule of thumb for my curve on my liquid eyeliner is just generally where my eyelashes fall once they're curled and I put mascara on, which I kind of can tell. I just know where they generally fall now. But if you have a hard time knowing, you can curl your lashes before you put this on, so you can get a better feel, and just play around with it. Some people look better with their wing in different places. And I don't take this past my crease area. So. I don't know why I started with the wing there. I'm having a brain fart. Oops, sorry. Just got a message from my sister. So that's with the little liquid wing on there. As you can see, it's not a super thick line. It just kind of defines my eye. And then, if you're brave enough, I know some people this kind of scares, I do line my upper waterline with the NYX black eyebrow and eye pencil. Nothing special. But if you're afraid of doing this step, don't even worry about it. You don't have to do it. I just find doing this, again, keeps my eyelashes looking thick and not sparse. And when doing this, you don't want to tug on your eye too much. I am guilty of doing that, but try not to. Okay, so the next, actually, I'm going to take my Glam brush that I got, or Ipsy, and it's just a angled eyebrow brush, and I just take that and I put that into the matte brown. If you have matte, not if you have matte, if you have brown eyebrows or hair, this makes a really good eyebrow filler, and I really like it. If you're blonde, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find this lighter color might work for you. So, but I don't have blonde, and I never have been, so I just fill in right on the top of my brow, where they get a little sparse. They're pretty thick eyebrows in general, and I don't want to make them look too thick, but just clean up the lines, you know, make them look even. And also, I do get my eyebrows threaded. Most of your local malls probably have eyebrow threading places, and I'd recommend checking them out. They do a really good job. And then I'm just going to use my Great Lash Maybelline New York Clear Mascara, and I just used that. Oh, there's a hair in there. Sorry, that's gross. To set my eyebrows in place, because I have pretty thick ones. If you have thin ones and you don't want to fill in your eyebrows and you don't want to add clear mascara, that's totally cool. As you can see, I love it. It's really gross and dirty. So just take that, and I'm just gonna brush my hairs up, make sure they stay in place. So last, but actually not even last, I'm going to take my pinky finger and I'm going to dip it into this pale shimmery color right here, and I'm going to use that as my highlight color for right on my brow bone and right in my tear duct area. Make sure you have clean finger too. I personally just like using my finger because I find that it blends really nicely, and you know, you get a little bit more control, I find, with highlighting, and I like it. So sometimes using your fingers are the best tool. You know? Don't need to buy anything. So then I just take it in right here and I kind of work it up and make sure to blend it into my existing shadow. So then, this is the one thing I don't have that's not Drugstore, because I have a Tarte eyelash curler, but I know Revlon makes some really good eyelash curlers, and you don't even have to curl your eyelashes. I personally like it because I'm not going to add fake lashes, because I find that when I add fake lashes, my eyelashes hit me in my eyebrow, and it's really obvious, and it looks really bad. Some girls, you can't even tell. I would recommend using individual lashes if you can, because I think it looks really good. But I'm just going to curl my lashes and use mascara because that's enough for me. So, and if you don't curl your eyelashes, or if you're afraid to, don't be afraid. It doesn't hurt, and it really makes a huge difference. So I know you guys can't see that, but it's a big difference already. And then I'm going to use my Maybelline New York Volume Express the Rocket. Sorry, I'm really like slow on talking today. And this is just in the Very Black. This is pretty new to the drugstore. I like it. It's not my favorite mascara, but it's probably my favorite drugstore mascara. So it's just got this nice thick wand. So, and if you have greasy eyelids, you might want to try the waterproof. I don't know if they make this waterproof actually, or a waterproof mascara, because you'll be dancing and sweating. So, but I just do the wiggle and pull motion. And then I just do my bottom lashes, just on the outer section. This is definitely a mascara that's adds more volume than length, which I prefer personally. So then, actually, this is what you could finish with, but I'm going to take it one step further and take my eyeshadow brush again and dip it into that darker bronze color and line the outer section of my eye right here. Okay, you can't even see that, can you? Okay, actually I'm going to take a little bit more of the brown because this isn't dark enough now. There we go. And this is the completed look. As you can see, it's just a nice smoky eye, very neutral, not too much makeup. Well, it's pretty good amount of makeup actually, but I think it's just a nice, look. So hopefully you guys like this look that I did for prom. If you want, I could do a naked palette prom look as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please comment down below and check out our blog as well and follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all that jazz. And I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.